Eilin and Arin, and the Elven Staff of Elements Part 1. We publish a new bedtime read-along story every night, so make sure to tap the subscribe button so you never miss any. Chapter 1, The Prophecy. The sun was setting over the elven city of Fardwellen, casting long shadows across the marble streets. In the council chambers of the High Elves, a grave discussion was underway. "Our scouts have reported an increase in dark magic," said Lady Arin, the eldest of the High Elves. "The signs point to a great evil that threatens to consume our land." "What can we do?" asked Lord Celander, the leader of the Elven Council. "We must seek out the artifact of the ancients," replied Lady Arin. "The Staff of Elements, capable of controlling the very forces of nature. Only with its power can we hope to combat this darkness." "But the staff has been lost for centuries," said Celander. "How can we hope to find it now?" "That is where I come in," said a figure cloaked in blue robes, stepping forward from the shadows. It was Arin, a wizard of great knowledge and skill in ancient magic. "I have studied the legends and prophecies of the ancients, and I believe I know where the staff may be found." "Where?" asked Lady Arin. "The Dwarves of Ironhold," replied Arin. "According to the ancient texts, the staff was last known to be in their possession. But they are a stubborn and distrustful folk, and it will take more than words to convince them to part with it." The elves exchanged worried glances. They knew that the Dwarves of Ironhold were isolationist and fiercely independent, and unlikely to cooperate with outsiders. But they also knew the importance of the prophecy, and the danger that the darkness posed to all the races of Aranther. "We cannot simply sit and wait for the darkness to consume us," said Lady Arin. "We must act. And we will need a skilled warrior to accompany Arin on this mission." "I volunteer," said Eilin, a young elf with fiery red hair and a fierce spirit. "I will go to Ironhold and convince the dwarves to join our quest." "And I will go with her," said Arin. "For my knowledge of ancient magic may yet prove useful in the search for the staff." And so, the small group of heroes was formed. Eilin and Arin set out on a journey that would take them through perilous mountains and dark forests, facing dangerous creatures and treacherous terrain along the way. They knew that the fate of Aranther rested on their success, and they would stop at nothing to retrieve the staff and prevent the darkness from spreading. Chapter 2, The Quest Begins. Eilin and Arin set out from Fardwellen early the next morning, their eyes fixed on the treacherous mountain range that lay ahead of them. The air was cold and biting, and the peaks of the mountains loomed high above, their snowy caps shrouded in mist. The journey was long and arduous, with steep slopes and narrow passes that tested even the most skilled climbers. But Eilin was determined, and she led the way with sure-footed grace, her elven senses alert for any sign of danger. Arin followed close behind, his staff in hand, ready to call forth the magic of the ancient elements if needed. Days turned into weeks, and the travelers passed through dense forests, rocky canyons, and rushing rivers. They encountered many strange creatures along the way, some friendly and some hostile, but they managed to overcome them all with their skills and magic. As they drew near to Ironhold, Eilin's heart quickened with anticipation. She had heard many stories of the dwarves and their legendary underground cities, but she had never actually seen one. She imagined a vast network of tunnels and chambers, filled with treasures and wonders beyond imagination. But when they arrived at Ironhold, they were met with disappointment. The city was a grim and forbidding place, built into the side of a rocky cliff. The walls were thick and unyielding, and the gates were guarded by stern-faced dwarves armed with axes and spears. Eilin and Arin approached the gates, their hands raised in a gesture of peace. The dwarves eyed them warily, their faces etched with suspicion. "What do you want?" growled a dwarf with a thick beard and a scar across his face. "We come in peace," said Eilin. "We seek an audience with your leader, Krarl." "Krarl sees no one," said the dwarf. "Now be on your way, or face the consequences." But Arin stepped forward, his staff held high. "Wait," he said. "We come bearing a message of great importance. A prophecy foretells of a great darkness that threatens to consume all the races of Aranther, and we seek your aid in preventing it." The dwarves exchanged wary glances. They had heard of the prophecy, but they were skeptical of such things. Nevertheless, they allowed Eilin and Arin to enter the city, under close guard. Kral, the leader of the dwarves, received them in his throne room, a massive chamber filled with jewels and gold. He was a broad-shouldered dwarf with a long beard, and his eyes were hard and piercing. "What do you want?" he demanded. "We seek the Staff of Elements," said Eilin. "We believe it is in your possession, and we need it to prevent the darkness from spreading." Kral snorted. "The staff is lost, and has been for centuries. We have no idea where it might be." "But the prophecy says otherwise," said Arin. "It says that the staff was last known to be in the hands of the Dwarves of Ironhold." Kral's eyes narrowed. "The prophecy is just a tale, told by old wives and fools. I have no time for such nonsense." Eilin stepped forward, her eyes flashing. "This is not just a tale, Kral. The darkness is real, and it is coming. If we do not act now, all the races of Aranthar will be consumed." Kral hesitated, his gaze flickering between Eilin and Arin. "Very well," he said at last. "I will send a small group of my dwarves to lead you to where the staff may be, if it even exists." End of Part 1. Part 2 coming tomorrow. Do you want to hear more stories? Then hit the subscribe button to follow our channel, so you never miss another daily story. And keep listening now, as more stories will play shortly.